Okay, I think we've got it working. So thank you everyone for coming. I want to welcome you all to ACMP's first of two classes with the Kronos Quartet. This is a special celebration of ACMP's 75th anniversary and the Kronos Quartet's 50th anniversary coming up in 2023. My name is Stephanie Griffin. I'm the Executive Director of ACMP. And I am absolutely thrilled to welcome Sunny Yang, the cellist of the Kronos Quartet, to be with us today. And later we will also have David Harrington, the founding first violinist of the quartet. We have three groups that are going to play from all over the country, from Idaho first, California, and then from New Paltz, New York. And they've chosen three pieces by American composers of vastly different aesthetic backgrounds. It's going to be a very exciting class. I also want to welcome our YouTube audience I'm recording. So as I said in my email notification to everyone, please turn your cameras off and your sound off while the groups are performing and while Sunny and David are coaching, so it improves the broadcast. To introduce the first group, which is the Idaho State Civic Symphony String Quartet. And actually, I'm going to ask Nell if you could maybe introduce all the members of the group and before you start playing and introduce your piece.
Sure. Hi, Stephanie. Great
to see you. Nell.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nell Flanders, and the quartet is Jenna Kraemer on first violin, Lyman Asay, is that? AC. Lyman Asay on violin 2, and Kaiya Waggoner on cello. And I want to just give a shout out to Eddie Ludema, trumpet player, who is helping us with the recording. Thank you, Eddie. Am I introducing the piece too? We're playing Missy Mazzoli's Enthusiasm Strategies.
Thank you for the beautiful performance.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Sunny from the quartet. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Great. I'd like to start by asking you if you had any comments or questions on working on this piece. Yeah, I'd like to just kind of start by asking you.
I mean, one question that I had was she's very specific about adding vibrato at H, but and very specific about places where there's no vibrato around measure 57, for example. But I wasn't sure at the beginning. We talked about how to use vibrato at the beginning, and from L to the end, it seems like vibrato is a good idea. But then also, I personally struggle with the challenge at the end between pianissimo soltasto to light pressure, no pitch, to mime bowing, no sound. So those were my questions.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, anything else?
There was a little bit of a debate in rehearsals about about the use of like fourth finger and open strings. It seems like she wants us to use open strings every time there's an E or an A or anything that can be played open string. But then it makes it really difficult with the string crossings to do it that way. So I was doing a lot of fourth finger, and so
is that specific, like at the beginning?
Like at
for
19? Yeah, where
I have like at E.
Like, well, for me it was at like C, where I have like that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was just kind of a debate about open strings versus fourth fingers. So yeah, we were just kind of curious about that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I hear some. I'm hearing something. Okay. Let's see. I think I lost you. Could you say something?
We hear you well. We hear.
Oh, good. Okay. Actually, I think your questions or comments actually kind of goes well with what I wanted to talk about, which is this just having more contour and contrast with the dynamic and the gestures that is associated with these dynamics and the colors that you can explore more. At the beginning is so throughout the piece there are really big ranges of dynamics. It starts with fortissimo right at the beginning, and then it often goes right away to piano, and then it blossoms again. So it's really just, and she gives you for example, at the beginning, she gives you this incredible quartet color that I've never quite heard it like it before, like in her writing, all fast moving harmonics. And I was wondering if maybe we could explore to kind of open or crack more. Let's try to bring out more colors and dynamics with your bows, I was wondering. And I thought maybe even at the beginning you could start with a cue. Have you who's cueing the beginning at the very top? Okay, great. Could I just see how you're starting or how you're cueing? Can you just show me once? Good. Is there a way, and eventually we all have to cue with whoever is leading, but is there a way? I think I'm finding the cue a little bit constrained.
Okay.
Is there a way to open up? Maybe I'm feeling that the cue is for a very small room, like where it looks like a small room from where I'm looking at. But if you can think of what's the biggest outdoor nature open land that you can think of?
Okay.
For me, it's Africa. I don't know where you can or imagine just the most vast empty space in nature you can think of, and imagine the air, you know, just the air from that land filling you up, and just go, I don't know, it's like the wind taking you. Can you try that once?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was better. I'm wondering if there's a way that you don't have to start with the bow on the string.
Okay.
Is that what you're doing? It's hard for me to really see.
That is what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah, could you try? I think that would be a good thing if you were in an orchestra and you have to start like a note together. But you are on your own. You don't have to, you know, no one else has to follow you. You're your own leader. So is there a way that you can just kind of, okay, I'll try. Well, let me see. Can you see? Is there a way that you can just kind of, okay, fill yourself with that vast kind of openness through the floor, through your feet, let it fill you up, come up, and then when you're ready, kind of go like that, and then just no in the don't the bow in the air, just go 1.
Okay.
Try that once. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Very good. From where I see, I'm still seeing that before you start, your spine is kind of, it can still open up a little bit. With your body language, I want to be able to feel the energy and hear the first note before you even begin. So I think there's something about the way you can sit and show us the openness. Yeah, yes, I can see it. Yes. And great. And before, don't worry about making a note. I know you're gonna make that sound.
Okay.
Don't worry about playing the first note perfectly. It's more about the feel we're concentrating. Yeah. Open your spine. Yeah, that's great. Now can we all try to do that, get that feel, like really don't worry, you know, like forget where you are in. You're out in the open space, and have your bow be the breath and the wind of the nature. Yes, that was a beautiful first chord. I mean, I really felt that breath.
Yeah.
Beautiful color. So this is a tricky beginning because there's so much going on and someone has to lead the quarters or the beat. So who's doing that?
Me.
First violin. Okay. Let me look at the score.
We're watching her bow, her down and up bows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have, I see that in the score that it's marked as fast tremolo, so you don't have a constant rhythm, right?
Well, and it's also, there's like bowing's marked in the scores, so
Yeah,
I'm doing down up like on the beats.
Mm-hmm.
But the cello has an actual rhythm.
Yeah.
And is changing down up on the beats.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I suggest that since the cello has the most consistent rhythm from the very beginning, that cello and the violin, and it's marked as the same bowing for two of you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So changing every quarter. Could we try with the cello and the violin leading the quarters? And I think I could see more of a leading with your, like, just with the movement of your spine. Let's see. Maybe just feel like with every quarter, can you try moving, feeling a little bit left, right, and kind of show everyone where the quarter beats are. Eventually you won't have to maybe do every quarter. Maybe you can do every half bar and eventually a bar. But for now, try 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of lead with your entire upper body, with your spine. Let's try that. Could I just hear the violin one and cello? Good. That's good. Is it called is it Kaiya? Kaiya. So Jenna and Kaiya, could I ask you to put down your instrument once? Do you have a place to put it down? Somewhere where you don't have to worry about knocking it down. Okay. And great. And I'm just gonna ask you to play this part and without your instruments and just move together in quarter beats. And all you're aiming for is just swaying together left to right at the same tempo. So cue each other as though you're beginning the piece. So it's much easier when you don't have to, when you don't have the physical thing. You just be much free. I'll do it with you. Okay. So I'll follow you guys. Oh yeah, everyone can do it. Yeah, okay, great. The swing wise, can it be more enjoyable? Like you're letting because when we play instruments, we are so worried about playing the right notes, the pitches. We forget about the most important thing, which is the breath and the direction, and just the natural contour of it. So if you imagine that music is always going somewhere or coming from somewhere, it's never the same kind of like this. Only the machine does this. There's a natural momentum of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she puts diminuendo and your movement gets a little less and then much less. Can we just try? Actually, all 4 of us can try. And then less, coming to almost stillness, almost no wind at all. And then another big breath coming up.
You were a beat ahead of me.
Is anyone else frozen?
Oh, her picture's frozen, but we can hear you.
Okay, you know what? I think it's probably my internet. You came to a complete stop because you froze in my.
we were still playing.
Yeah, so it's when you think just simple like that, it's just one gesture from bar 1 to bar 7. It's just loud to one gesture to soft, and then loud to soft. It might help you just kind of feel the natural momentum of it. I wanted to ask comment on the thing you asked about vibrato and non-vibrato. Sometimes I think when she writes or when composers write non-vibrato and vibrato, I think they're definitely looking for a very specific color with the string instrument. But then when you're not sure, I'd like to think when it's not indicated and it's kind of up for grab, or you can just kind of improvise, I'd like to think that, when we're playing string instrument, there's always a little bit of wiggle going on with your left hand. It's never never completely dead. So I would say just kind of go with what feels right instead of thinking that it has to be either nothing or absolutely on full.
Right. It's me, I have a lot of open strings. So like at letter B, I start off with a D and an A. And that for me, fortissimo D and A feels like I've got to do that open because it's going to sound so resonant and beautiful. So hopefully it's resonant and beautiful. But then I would go to vibrating those guys. So there's that contrast between strings non-vibrato and then the vibrato coming in.
So you're worried about the contrast.
Right.
That much contrast. Can I hear it once in the with everyone at B?
B?
B.
Yeah. Okay, it's very, very hard to comment on this very subtle colors over Zoom, but it sounds okay from where I am. Okay. I would say if while you're playing it seems like it's standing out, try on the open string bit with the string pressing. Try a little bit, instead of a completely dead left hand, try a little bit of a wiggle while you're playing, so it helps with the resonance. And then when you're doing the double steps, try a little bit less, and it might just balance it out. And see how that sounds in the end. But it's also just so much depends on the acoustic of the hall or the room you're playing and what everyone else is doing to your sound to mold. So I think we had a similar discussion, I remember. And when you're doing the double steps, because all of a sudden it's like a pure tone, you can try minimizing that contrast of the color by keeping the bow with more air, not all of a sudden very heavy and rich. I think that might help. I think.
So did you guys have played all 50 of these?
All the 50 pieces from the 50 for the Future.
And are you guys the recording that we could listen to, or is that someone
else?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you gone to the website?
Yeah.
We recorded all of them, and actually just now we redid some of the first few pieces that we recorded when we because we were just figuring out things back then, and we weren't quite happy. We wanted to revise some of the stylistic things, so we re-recorded the La Cena Diabates 5 movements, and that was the very first piece of the project. So we are in the process of editing that right now. Have you checked out any other pieces on the project?
Only a few, but I couldn't tell you which one. I looked a little bit when we were looking for a piece to play.
I see. And what about this piece has interested you?
For me, so I'm also the conductor of the orchestra here, and so
okay.
Our Symphonia for Orbiting Spheres, and we're going to perform that again this February, and we're actually performing another piece by Missy Mazzoli in May. So those are that
That's great.
And I wanted to kind of give us as much exposure to her as possible over the course of the year.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, yeah. For me, I love this piece because it gives me it's just like so much freedom to really explore this string quartet color that we are not used to. And I can imagine actually, I wonder if this would work well within a string orchestra setting. Like I'm just like here imagining this sound of I don't know 30 string players playing a fast harmonic 16th. It sounds incredible in my head. Wow. And like from the fortissimo to pianist, that's incredible. Let's see. Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I actually had that same thought while we were rehearsing. Like, this would probably sound cool in a chamber orchestra.
Yeah, I think this would work really well. In fact, I feel like I've heard that someone did that, but I could be imagining it. But I know that a lot of the pieces in the project have been rearranged. Like, for example, some of the pieces have been rearranged for saxophone quartet. And, you know, I've coached them and it sounds great. And in some other forms as well. Lots of string orchestra arrangements or smaller chamber orchestra arrangements. You know, actually, you asked about the ending, gradually decrease pressure on bow. It came across very well from where I was sitting. I thought that you did. It's more of a, I would say it's also, okay, the sound thing, but it's also a choreographed thing. So if everyone kind of really, you know, the sound is starting to go away to absolutely nothing. And at the end, you're just miming. If you really get into the character and at the end, all of a sudden, everything stops. If you could just hold that energy at the end, I think it could be really dramatic. Do you want to try at the end where the transition happens?
I do have one question with that before. So, because when we're getting piano, I barely am using any bow anyway. But when we get to the no pitch, I'm still using.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that as dramatically.
Yeah.
Stop. Or it's gonna.
No, that's a great question. So, yeah, that's a great question. I think maybe you could try once. So it goes from all the way from fortissimo to nothing. So how to make that last longer without dying too early, right? I would say, okay, so when you get to pianissimo, is there a way to still have the pianissimo color with lots of air in the bow? Because when we think of pianissimo, okay, we think of soft, but that doesn't necessarily mean soft and weak. It could mean a whisper, but with lots of energy even, you know, so you could decide yourself, okay, when we get to pianissimo section, it's gonna be softer than before, but with lots of air.
Okay.
And then as it gets even softer and softer and softer, you could still have lots of air, but go more sul tasto, and then decrease the air, and then decrease the speed of the bow. Do you want to try that once? So when you get to pianissimo, don't think constricted piano with no bow. Actually use lots of bow, but with very little pressure. Try that.
Like from a 111 maybe?
thought that worked really well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it
I heard it go from sound to whisper and into nothing. It was really beautiful. I would say I could see the left hand kind of being more incorporated into that color. I thought the left hand was a bit too rich sometimes for the color you're creating with the right hand. So can we try that one more time? And as the right hand is getting more of a whisper and lighter, maybe feel the fingerboard become more light and your left hand becoming weightless. Oh, that was beautiful.
That felt very magical.
Oh, that was beautiful. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just coming up with more contrast of the top of the color and the low of the color and everything in between, just finding more colors. Let's see. And while we're doing this really frantic kind of harmonic fast notes, when someone plays a rich arco melody, I would love for that to really come out, because it just cuts through. It should cut through. So it might be that you have to give that solo line, arco line, a little bit more room in terms of dynamic. Hard for me to say through Zoom, but was there any section that you wanted to try out?
You want to do here, Jean? we had one more question.
Oh yeah, please.
there's the wonderful kind of violin 2 solo obligato passage, and then the three of us, well, particularly starting right around H, have the more melodic stuff. But just figuring out how to balance that with the second violin.
Well, could you tell me which bar?
So, for example, at letter H at 65, when we stop being, clearly commenting on what she does, and we take on the more rich line, we're trying to figure out if we drown her out or if we come away.
Let's see. Let me look at 65.
In the recording, that's where all the
Oh
you
yeah.
guys were growing and swelling, and the
yes,
violin is the only really moving melodic part, but it was kind of just in the background versus, as we were discussing.
That's right. Yeah.
Want that to be louder.
Yes. So it's 3 against 1. So, and it's almost like, oh, this section personally reminds me of like harmonium. And I think, you have to work extra hard to balance that out. So the second violin has to try more to come out. So and then the three of you
to come out more, right?
Yes, yes.
Like on top, essentially.
I think so. I think it's second violin solo there, and the other 3 are kind of doing this like the just like the with the breaths coming in and out. Do you want to try that section? That's a great section. To try that.
Yeah, right on H.
Okay, can I the problem here is that I'm looking at my part, and what I have written here in my register on cello, it's so resonant. And I don't know about the other two, but you have to, I think, play much less. I know the height of the crescendos go as loud as forte, but maybe take that with a grain of salt and just think swells and not so much thinking forte. Just thinking swells, and maybe don't even think so much about the pressure, but maybe you can explore this contour of the dynamics with more breath, so that you just give her more room. Yeah, I'll say try half of the dynamic you just did. Yeah, I think that's better balance. It's a bit of a tricky passage to be together. Let's see. I think second violin can maybe. Do you think you can try to lead half bars, because you have more of a constant kind of rhythm?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then and the three other parts, even when you don't have the downbeat, sometimes it kind of move on the downbeat with your body.
Okay, so by leading half bars, like that's where my gestures are, kind of.
Just kind of just a main pulse, so that others know where you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's better. You kept the tempo better.
I mean, was that easier for you guys to follow?
Yeah, I know it's a bit, but eventually once you feel the music together, you don't, maybe hopefully you won't have to do it so much, because it's probably doesn't feel great.
I mean, did that still, see, part of my thing is like, I don't want to be looking all hokey.
You don't look like that at all. Okay, so in fact, I barely.
Not do all of that.
No, you don't look like that at all. But you shouldn't feel that way either. So I don't know if knowing that you don't look like that helps, but it just looks like you're going with the pulse, with the heartbeat of the rhythm.
Okay.
I could still use when you're top of the swells for the three other parts. I think I could still use a bit more bow speed without getting too loud. But I think that's the idea in terms of balance. Yeah, I even marked down my dynamic markings there, one notch down for everything. So piano to pianissimo, forte to mezzo forte. Because we were having the same balance problem. Yeah, I wish I was there because it would be so much easier to just be in the same space. But
This is still very wonderfully inspiring.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And it's so wonderful to hear you play this piece. I think it's such a gorgeous piece, and I really hope that more people hear it and play it. And you guys sound wonderful.
Thank you. Sunny.
And thank you so much for playing it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
From Idaho. So I think that was really wonderful. So should we move on to the next group, which is the San Francisco Conservatory group? Yeah. And let me just find them and pin them. Here we go. Spotlight. So Alyssa, would you like to introduce the members of your group and tell us which piece you're playing?
Sure. Hi, I'm Alyssa. This is Manny, Elmer, and Hannah, and we are playing Sweeter Than Wine.
Hi, nice to meet you. Sweeter Than Wine. Yes. Let me pull that up. Which movement will you be playing?
We have both movements.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, looking forward to hearing it. Hey, beautiful job. It's so wonderful to hear you play these two movements. It's one of my favorite pieces all time. It's really, really wonderful. Um, what made you choose this piece or to work on this piece?
I would say it's pretty cute, you know.
It is pretty cute, yeah.
Yeah, so we're working on Dvorak 14 in A flat,
Oh,
and
wow.
we're pretty serious about that one because it's so
Yeah.
difficult. So it's nice to have a break from like the intensity of Dvorak, and to play something a little bit more cute, you know.
Any other thoughts? Or any questions or something you want to share?
Something that I really like about this piece is sort of like the folkiness of it, and I think that's something that we're trying to work on as a group, is sort of how we can cultivate like a character of folk music and like bring it out in a way that feels authentic rather than something that we're like thinking too hard about, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes absolute perfect sense. Okay. So let me get the names right. Alyssa, and I didn't get your name for second violin.
Oh, Manny?
Manny, yes. Okay, I wrote it down. Elmer?
Yes.
Elmer? Oh, I'm reading this. I have this book with Elmer the elephant. You probably know.
That's funny.
I mean, I read it to my son. He loves it. But anyway.
Oh, nice.
It's a wonderful book. Elma, I love the name. Okay, and Hannah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So nice to meet you and hear you play this. It's interesting that you mentioned that you're playing Dvorak and you wanted something in the contrast, because what I wanted to discuss with you was I wondered if it could be more lighthearted and joyous. I'm getting a sense of that sometimes, but I still feel like there's this kind of, when you're playing it, there's this sense of how to play it well. Like, I feel like that's kind of going on in your head instead of completely. I wonder if there's a way that you can not worry about how you should be playing it, but just focusing on the joyous character of it. And I wanted to try something. She said, okay, so in this movement that you just played, postscript, basically there's this pulse going on with G and D pizzicato, right? Bum, 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 bum. And everyone is just kind of chiming, improvising. I mean, that's kind of what I hear. So I was wondering if there is a way that one person, and we can start with anyone, one person can just, did I freeze for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I think it's probably my internet and my battery is going out.
I think we heard most of what you said, though. It was mostly just the
okay.
video.
Can one person walk around the room, playing bum, 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 bum? Could I, someone
I'll do it.
start? Actually, I was wondering if we could just put the stands aside or flip it so you don't look at the music. Let's not worry about the music for now and just think about how we're gonna be jamming. Oh, have you guys ever just got together with friends and just jammed? Like just improvise or just play for fun?
No.
No. Okay, let's do it. We have 25 minutes to just have fun. We're just gonna make our own version and focus on, just having fun. Okay, so let's see. How about Elmer? Are you cool walking around with your cello? No, actually, that's a bit difficult. That's a bit difficult, isn't it? How about Hannah? Hannah,
Yeah, I
can
can
you
do
walk
it.
around the room in the pulse and just play those pizzicatos?
Yeah.
Just imagine that you are at a friend's place and no one else has ever seen the viola. You're like, hey, see what I can do with this instrument called viola. And make it, yeah, you're not following any score. That's just, yeah, make it as fun as possible. Move your hip a little bit. Oh yeah, do some moves. There's cakes, tacos, margaritas, if you're legal. Okay, while Hannah is going around doing that, can someone join her in her footsteps, the same pulse, and add something that will repeat with that? How about Alyssa?
Like anything random.
Anything, but something that goes with that. It can be anything. Sillier the better. You can say, hey, I play the violin. It's a little higher. Nice, I love it. And but walk in the pulse. Walk in her footsteps. Same pulse. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, how about Manny?
Hey.
Right. Okay, walk in their heartbeat. Nice. I love this. You creating some kind of pulse machine here. Okay, Mr. Elmer. Show us what cello can do. Like, show us some cello. Someone add in some slides. Slides. Oh yeah. And how about add in some chromatics. Nice. Okay, someone else over the pulse from viola, and so the viola can jam too. Oh,
Okay.
but you know what? This is the idea. That's basically what this is. It just should be the most carefree, fun thing to do. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. And as you're playing it, I want in the audience, I want to feel like, oh wow, that was a cool improv. What is he gonna do next? Who else is gonna do something? So I think if you focus on this spirit, it's gonna become even more sparkly, more fun. So I wish, I wonder if you could perform this, like even walking around, it would be kind of fun. But yeah, so now we can go back to the music and let's just, see if we can incorporate that idea. I liked your version a lot, so that's great. Yeah, let's just go from the top and see. Yeah, keep moving moving left butt, right butt, left butt, right butt. Everybody move your butt Yeah. Oh, nice slide. Yeah, good. Okay, great. This is already so much more fun for me to listen to. Elmer, when you were just, I think I just want to say the name. But Elmer, when you were just doing the solo, where were you? Da, 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 da. I think the Dvorak seriousness kind of seeped through the cracks of the ceiling. It kind of got a bit serious. Can we let it go and don't worry about playing the right pitches or rhythm? It's just imagine that you're just improvising. Just kind of focus more on who's playing the pulse here. It's the
Violin.
oh yeah,
violin.
just focus on that. Just like play to her. And maybe this time, just as an exercise, maybe you can just add in some notes or improvise the rhythm a bit, just for fun.
Around 26.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, it's all about the smile. It's all about just having fun. That's great. So, of course, in the end, when we're performing, we wanna play kind of what's written, but that doesn't mean it has to sound like, you've played a million times, and it's. I think the spirit of what you were just doing, you can still keep. I think the spontaneous aspect of it and improvisatory aspect of it. So I really enjoyed that. That's great. Do you have any other questions with this movement?
Not with this movement, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. We have about 15 minutes, so let's go to the other one. Yeah. Do you have it? What are some of the challenges that you're having in this movement?
I think it's mostly like pulse especially at
Pulse.
the end when there's so much rest,
and
then
because there's a lot of empty spaces.
Yeah. We wanted to find a way that it felt organic but still like organized enough that we could follow each other. And I think we were having a hard time sort of figuring out where the balance between those things was.
Yeah, yeah, great. Maybe we can, I wonder if we can, because I thought your beginning was really beautiful. And the 13 is out for a stroll, out for an adventure. These are very subtle differences that how to make them confident. Could I just hear how you're playing the 13? We'll just touch up on different sections to see how we can bring out the different section with different characters. So let's try 13, bar 13. Okay, great. Let's see. Elmer, could you move your stand so I can see how you're doing your pizzicato?
Oh, is that gonna block you? I'm just going.
It's so hard for me to see. Are you stopping the resonance of the string after the first hit?
I don't think I was.
No. And are you doing it with the, it's hard for me to see. Are you doing it with the index finger?
My middle finger.
Middle finger. Ah.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's no. I like the thump you're getting. Is there a way that you can try more going south? So towards the bridge, bum direction wise. Oh,
like this way?
Yeah, it's just going downwards. Yes, it doesn't matter which. Ah. You know, with subtle things like this, it's hard for me to hear from the Zoom, but can you try that color with everyone? I like that better. I don't know how it sounds there, because before it sounded like da-da with two dots, da-da, but this sounds like more bum 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 bum. It sounds more gestural, at least here. But I would say try with some different ways of, oh, I wish I was there, because then we could experiment with your cello. But yeah, I would say try different direction, different contact points, and also with different amounts of the pad that is in contact with the string. Maybe sometimes when you more, more skin, so more pad, more thicker, kind of more resonance or more laid back it sounds, sometimes depends on the cello. Manny, could I hear you how you're playing your part? I'd like this section to sound less studied and really kind of more out for a stroll. You're like out for a stroll. It kind of indicates to me that you don't really have a fixed plan on what you're doing, but you're just out for a stroll to get some fresh air. And it sounds a little bit planned out and studied for me. So could I just hear your part, Manny? And try to sound more carefree, more in the moment. Is there something with the left hand? It sounds very classical and more like da da, maybe with the more gestural, ba da. Try one. Yeah, maybe don't worry so much about making the beautiful vibrato with the left hand, but go with the resonance of focus more on the resonance that you're creating with the right hand of the gesture. Ba-da.
Mhm.
The way you leave the end of the second note, can it be more out the door? Instead of, it sounds more like da-dum. You want to control every resonance of it. Can it go more like, let it go? Da-da. Yeah, try that. Now try that with everyone, that kind of color. This is great. I like, yeah, I think it sounds better. So let's go to the section where it's Alfred Adventure at 51. So I guess when he was out for a stroll, he didn't intend for adventure, and now he's out for an adventure. How are you gonna make that distinction? Maybe more of a, I don't know, maybe show me. Do you want to try this section at 51? It's great. I felt that. I mean, I think that sounds great. At the end, we only have about 5 minutes. So at the very end, I know you mentioned that it's a little bit hard with the empty spaces and the timing and making it sound natural. I was wondering at the very end, at starting from 133, if you could think almost like you're saying, when I was listening to you, I was thinking of this scenario where you're saying bye to someone, and you know, it's like you don't know, like maybe the last time you're gonna say bye, or something like that, or you won't see that person for a long time, and it's very hard. So one person, maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's 4 of you, and so one person starts saying something, and other person says, other people say, oh yeah, I'll miss you too, and then there's kind of a natural silence, and then another person says, oh, we should go, oh yeah, we should go, I'll miss you, and then there's that silence. So I wonder if you think it like that, just kind of, it just, someone starts saying something and then it kind of dies down, kind of, and then someone says something. Could you maybe try that kind of concept? Try maybe 133. when whenever you're ending a gesture, is there a way that you can try to communicate more with the way the colors are ending of that resonance, or talk with each other's left hand more so that you guys change the color together and go into the silence together? And when you at the end of each phrase there is a quarter note rest, don't maybe take that with a grain of salt, and maybe it has to be a bit longer, or sometimes it can be shorter, but it doesn't have to be exactly, I don't think, exactly a quarter note. But see what feels natural. Just look at everyone, and if it feels natural, then take next breath together. Yeah, I would say that this ending section, yeah, just think more focused now on what feels right in terms of rest, duration of the rest, and just look at each other and see when it feels right to take the next breath. Can you try that? And then still, very still. Don't move during the rest, and then move together. Yeah, so there was another thing, maybe choreographing and moving together in this very, very tender last moments. Da, da, and finish together, and then move together to the next. One more time. It's beautiful. I think it's so powerful when you guys do pause together like that as a group during the rest. I think it's very, very, very good. I think we are almost out of time. Do you have any last comments or questions? It's so wonderful to hear you play this piece, and I thought you played so beautifully. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So congratulations to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music Quartet. Let's give them a virtual round of applause. And thank you so much, Sunny. That was such an inspiring coaching of both groups. I would like now to introduce David Harrington and the next group. So let me just put them up here. David Harrington is the founding first violinist of the Kronos Quartet, and I'm going to spotlight him for a moment. Hello, David.
Hello.
Stephanie, I'm the executive director of ACMP. We're so happy to have you with us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
What a wonderful project, this 50 for the Future. What a wonderful way to celebrate your anniversary. So the group you are going to coach is from SUNY New Paltz. They're here. And would someone from SUNY New Paltz like to introduce the players in the group and the piece you're about to play?
Right, so we are the SUNY New Paltz String Quartet. I'm Saskia Kamerling on viola. Abigail Dentico.
Nicola Kelly.
Moehn Aguayo. And we're going to be playing Testimony by Charlton Singleton.
Terrific. Wow, terrific, you guys. Really terrific. I can help out a little bit, not much. Can we just start right at the beginning one more time? And I'm just trying to get my score all set here, sorry. The more we can think like singers, the better for this piece. When we worked with Charlton in our rehearsals, he was talking about listening to church choirs and actually singing himself when he was growing up, and maybe even now, I'm not sure. So even the very first note, Abigail, right, on cello? Yeah, Abigail, can you, in your mind, inside, can you imagine humming the note that you're going to play? Just before you make the sound with your bow, just hear inside of you a hum of that note. Can you try that once? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's beautiful. Okay. And who else is coming in? Who comes in next? Nicola?
Oh, it's actually Saskia.
Saskia, you're coming in next? Okay. Great. So maybe all of you be ready to play. Like when Abigail starts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. And I don't think it has to be in a rhythm. It doesn't have to be ding, bum, bum. Just let it float. Okay. And Saskia. It's weird. You're looking over here or something. I'm here. But yeah. One thing I like to do is talk about posture. Okay. Can everybody put both of their feet on the ground? Yeah. And imagine that your body is slightly, like, from your tummy, lift yourself up, but feel your feet on the ground. There we are. Okay, now can everybody get ready to play? Okay, and Abigail's going to start. Okay, and everyone listen to the tone she makes and hum with her. Okay? When you come in, hum. Listen, listen, listen. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Martin, can I suggest something? Before you play the faster notes, be sure you're listening to the hum underneath you. Okay? Let that lift you up if you can. Okay? And it's kind of like you can go in and out of that hum. You don't have to. It's just getting started here. You don't have to project very much, I don't think. Can we try it one more time? And can everyone think of lifting the top part of your body up even a little more? Feet down, head up. Okay, try it one more time. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Martin. Listen, listen. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Yeah, yeah. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. Can I ask one thing, Martin? Could you try dee da dee dee? When you go up bow, can you go up rather than down with your body? But that was great. So you use the notes underneath you to lift you. Okay. Can we start right where Martin comes in? And everyone, use your feet. Use your feet. Okay. Head up. Head up. Yeah. Good. Nice. Can I suggest one thing? Martin, I think you could take a new down bow if you want at the end of this second ending. So you could be a down bow with Saskia.
Okay.
So it's if you were singing it, you'd take a breath there. And then you can let the drone come to the foreground for that little moment. Yeah. Great. And I thought Saskia, I thought the balance was really good that time on your entrance with Martin. That was fabulous. Okay. So I just came from a Pilates class yesterday morning, and my teacher was talking about breathing and filling up the sides of the lungs. Can everybody just think about that this time? Let's take the second time of bar 2 and just start to drone a little bit, and then Martin come in, okay? But this will be the second time. And the other thing, sorry to talk so much, but the other thing is you don't have to play it the same way both times, Martin. It's almost like you could have a different idea about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So try it a little differently this time on this second time. So let's start the chord, the drone. Yeah. Everybody think up. Fill your lungs. Excellent. Now, can I ask you to Martin and Saskia? Is there your posture looks fabulous. Now, can you lean into each other when you're playing together? Can you try just try it right where you come in, Saskia? So that would be bar 7. Okay. So yes. Sorry to stop. Try to make so you're up as high as you can be, and try to make the scrolls a little closer together if you can, even across the distance. Okay. Try it one more time. And use your feet. Let's hear the drone, please. Okay, now do it differently this time. Hold, yeah. Yeah, great. And that hold, I think, can be longer, you know? Martin, I have just a thought. Wah. You could slide on your third finger as you go up.
Yeah.
One time. You don't have to do it every time, but it's an option, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It's a little more vocal, I believe. And then when you have that cutoff at the second ending in bar 11, can everybody just allow themselves to think for a moment? You know what I mean? It sounds like everyone's in a hurry to go on. You can just allow us to love that moment a little bit. Can we try that one more time? That second time of bar 7, okay? And try to be, Saskia and Martin, try to be a little closer together. Like just lean. Saskia, how much can you propel your upper body over your music stand? Or show me how much you can do that. Let's see. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm not saying don't make it harder for yourself to play. I'm just wondering how close you guys can get to each other as you're playing. That's the thing. Okay, let's try it one more time. Second time here. Yeah. So great. Martin, can I challenge you to wait even longer on that comma?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make us listen to you, like how, let's say it's a new word in the song or something like that. Just make us wait for it a little bit more. Try it one more time, please. And use your vibrato. Use your okay? Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh, Martin, that was fabulous. And I would say, at 12, you could do a little bit of the same thing. And play a little differently on each upbeat. Like it's a different word, or you're thinking of it a little differently. Can we try it right there at bar 12? And I think that hold at 15, to me, it's not sounding like it's longer than 4 beats. I think it should be, if you can. Can we try it one more time at 12? Yeah, yeah. Excellent. And as you're going on, boom, the mood change should be very, very clear to all of us in the audience, in your gesture, in your body. Okay, can we try that last note before bar 16? And then let's go on. Okay. Abigail, can we have, it's like a much more rhythmic in the way you're projecting it. So with the up bow, you do an up bow in the air and then you do a down bow, right? Yeah, but can it be much more bum, bum? Okay. Yeah, that's it. Can you even be, I mean, if I was in the room with you, you know what I'd ask you to do? I'd ask you to lay the cello down and jump up and down in the air. It needs to be boom, boom. Can you do that? Yeah, and the upbeat that you don't hear needs a lot more rhythm to it. So, boom. Pretend you're Leonard Bernstein, okay? Leonard Bernstein's going to give a cue, right? He's going to go, I'll cue you. Okay, here we go. Ready? Yeah. Okay, now do it yourself. Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry. It looks like it looks like this to me. Can it be head up, chin up, eyebrows up? Okay, and yeah. Okay, Saskia, can you do something for me? Because I'm not there. I can't do it myself. Can you lay your viola down for just a split second where it's safe? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now, this is something I would do if I was there in the room with you. Can you go over to Abigail's, stand above her, go over to the other side of her? Okay. Now, with the bow, let me see. Okay. Can you hold the end of the bow, the nut of the bow, okay, and pull it the opposite direction. Okay, now, yeah. And so what I'm trying to get you to do, Abigail, is to hold the bow more firmly and resist. Go the opposite direction. Resist in the opposite direction, I mean. Okay. So feel the bow being pulled the opposite way, and then you go boom. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now do it yourself. Yeah, do it yourself. Yeah. Okay, now can you lay the bow on the string and Saskia hold on the stick of the bow. Yeah. Okay. Now pinch the bow, Abigail, going the opposite, going up bow, pinch the bow, and then release down bow. Yep, that's it. Okay, yeah. Now, Saskia, let her do it herself. Okay. So pinch up bow and go down bow. Yeah. Okay. Try this. Do a pizzicato on that note. Okay. Now pretend it's fortissimo. Okay. Yeah. Can you go like this? What I'm trying to get is a more dramatic. Yeah. Yeah. Head up, boom, and project it out to us out here. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Now, can you do that with your bow? Yep. Yeah. There you are. Yeah. So what we want is this beat, this boom. It's like a bass drum. Okay. Okay. Let's try it with everybody. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good. Sorry to stop you. Okay, Abigail, are you? I'm not sure what 188 is, but it feels like it's a little bit logy and it just needs more intensity. Think of it as fortissimo once and see if that helps. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Sorry to stop, Martin. Okay, can we play it where Nicola comes in? And just do it several times. Just repeat that a few times. Can everybody use their feet and be up? Like pull your belly button in and lift yourself up. Ding, da, da, dum, da, da, dum. And let's, we have 2 buttocks for a reason. We need to use both of them. It's looking to me like you guys are only using one. Can everybody do this? If I was in the room with you, I'd be doing this. Can everybody do this? There we are. But go as much to the left as you go to the right. So you're actually, and you use your feet. Pull your belly buttons in. Yep. There you are. Okay, now can the 3 of you play that before Martin comes in? Just do it 3 times, okay? But use that motion you just did. Ready? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, can everybody do let's do this. So, Saskia, let me see. Yeah. Use your feet. Everybody use your feet. Okay. Now, can you do that and play this? So you have that limberness in your trunk, top of your body, okay? It looks a little stiff. That's what I'm trying to move you away from. Okay, that's good. That's good, Nicola. Okay, let's try it. Ready? Yeah. Well, that was 100 times more interesting and beautiful, I thought. Abigail, when you change notes, can that be a bigger deal? Like just bring it out. It's, I mean, you're talking to a violinist who likes to hear loads of cello. Okay, loads of cello, loads of viola, and loads of the other violin. I'm a lot less interested in my own part than I am in everybody else's part. But that's my the way I hear balance. So I want to say, Nicola, Saskia, Abigail, that was much better, much better. Can Abigail, can you try something? So Nicola, hold your bow up like this, ready to play. Okay. Now, Abigail, can you put your hands on her bow? Yeah. Don't touch the hair, of course. Down at the lower part of the bow. Okay, now pull.
Towards me.
Yes, pull towards you. Okay, and feel that, Nicola, feel that feeling of having to resist on the down bow. Yeah, like you're pulling something. Yeah, there you are. I can see it in your hand. That's good. That's good. Okay, now let's play. And that's what I was trying to get, Abigail. That's what I was trying to get for you too, on the down bow. So there's just a little more resistance. Okay. Can we try it one more time with you guys? And Martin, don't come in quite yet. I want to be sure that this part has enough pizzazz. Okay. Can we try it right there? Let's give a good cue, Abigail.
Sorry. Are we starting at 16?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
So be sure that the cue looks like what you're going to play. Right now, it's a little like this, but you're going to play, boom, right? Okay, make it look like that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get in there. Oh, great. Yeah, Nicola, very good motion. Okay, now can everybody just do a little bit more limberness and use your ability to move from side to side just a little bit more. I'm not suggesting you make a big deal out of it. Just be able to move with the music a little more. Can we try it one last time and come in this time, Martin, okay? Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. Can we try it one more time from the hold at bar 44? Okay. And Abigail, could I suggest that these holds don't need to be the same length, you know? And when you get to bar 50, can you be sure you're leading everybody? Use this part of your body. You can, the great thing about cello is you can use your elbows more than the rest of us can. Use your elbows to lead them a little more. Use your eyebrows. Eyebrows are really important in quartet playing, really important. Okay, so let's start at bar 44, that hold. Okay. Okay, excellent. Since I'm not in the room with you, I need some help. So, Abigail, can you help me? Can you put your viola down and your bow down on the floor?
Me?
I'm sorry, Saskia. Yeah, Saskia. And can you go over and stand behind Abigail? And before she starts playing, just so, okay, can you put your hands on her shoulders? And stand right behind her if you would. Yeah, that's it. Now, can you try to tip her just a little bit? Not to tip her over, but just to get her. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and Abigail, can you do this? Can you? There you are. That's good. Take a deep breath. Use your eyebrows. Head up. Okay. Okay. Now, can you play the solo? Da dee da. And Saskia, just keep doing this every once in a while. That's it. And every once in a while, tip her a little more when the music seems like it needs a little more drama. Just give her a little tip. Okay. Go ahead. Yep. Tip. Speed up the tipping. Excellent. Now, can we try it with everybody playing? And Abigail, can you think of that? Just think of that. Don't worry about the notes. Don't worry about anything. Just think about this. Okay, about being free and pulling the sound with your hand. Okay, let's try it. So these are the pickups to bar 46. And if I'm noticing you need a little more tipping, I'm going to say tip. Okay. All right. Ready? Tip, tip. Yes. Tip. There you go. Tip. Tip more. Tip, tip. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, that was only 150% better. Okay, just that much. that was really great. And I could suggest that to all of you. Just a little bit more limberness, and it actually comes from your feet and from what you're sitting on, and just allow this, you know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when we get to that note right there, can we play that note? And when you're done with it, whatever you're going to do next, can you do it very slowly? So the audience knows you're going to do something, but they don't know what it is. Okay? So can we just hold the note of bar 60? And Martin, sorry, Martin, can you have your feet a little bit more underneath your body? Yeah, that's it. Wherever, yeah, lift yourself up. Okay, try it one more time. Yep. Great. Okay, so who's giving the cue there on that foot stomp? You are. Okay. Just like I was saying with Abigail, can you lift your foot up higher as a cue? Can I just see that once? Yeah. And then lean into them, because so everybody sees up, down, up. Okay. Yeah. That's good. I think you could even get a little bigger downbeat with your foot, like go up a little higher and throw it down a little more. Can you try that once? Can everybody join in? And that was great that you used your hand too. That was really good. Can everybody try that, using your hand as you go up? Okay, great. Now, Nicola, just for practice, can you cue us? Okay, Martin has been cueing everybody now, but can you do it? I just want to be sure everybody in the group can do that. Yep. Yeah, good. Can you use your chin and your forehead and eyebrows and everything? Boom. A little more. Yeah. Oh, that was great. That was great. And try the third time and just engage everybody a little bit more. Engage the rest of the quartet. Okay, try it one more time. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, Abigail, can you do it? So you're leading now. Okay. Oh, I see. You don't do it though, do you? Okay. Well, it's nice that you know how to do it though. Okay. So Saskia, let's go to you. Can you lead it now? Yeah. Okay. Martin, your turn. So let's play it for real now. So basically, what I think about cues is that everyone in the quartet ought to be able to do every cue. But there's one, you decide, okay, one person's going to lead that cue. Okay? Can we try it one more time? And so Martin is going to lead it, but you guys lead with him. Okay? Try it one more time. Yeah. Okay, great. Now, can everybody just have a little bit more limberness here? All right, try it one more time, and we're going to go on this time, okay? Okay, great. Okay, Abigail. We need a lot more tipping going on here, okay? just try that solo, okay? Okay. Nicola, can you do your part and lead Abigail once? So do your foot stomps and your slaps, and lean yourself over to her, and let's just get more exuberance from the solo. Okay, try it, Nicola. Okay, ready? We're at the beginning of that bar, so that'd be 64. Okay. Hang on, it's da dee dee da 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 dee da. So she has 3 notes, and then you come in. Okay, one more time. I think you're just getting confused. So we're just starting at bar 64. So she has da dee dee da 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 dee. Okay? Try it one more time. Da da. Yep. Yeah. More tipping. Okay, great. That's already getting better. Okay, now Saskia. So we're still only hearing Nicola on the foot stomps and the slaps, but can you be tipping with the music? Okay, and Martin, you can be tipping with the music too. Okay, but we're only going to hear Nicola actually doing the foot stomps and the slaps. Okay, let's start at the same place. Okay. Tip more, everybody. Tip, everybody. Okay, great. Can we stop for a sec? That was really good. Really good. Okay, Saskia, I thought that you thought, now tell me if I'm right, but I thought that you thought you were doing too much tipping. Am I right about that?
It felt a little much.
Okay, I thought it was probably 200% too little.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get you to overdo it so that when I'm not there, you'll say, oh, David, you'll think about me and you'll think, oh, I'm sure I'm not doing enough. That's what I'm trying to leave you with. So can we do the same thing and do so much more than you just did that it's way too much?
Okay.
For sure. Okay. And the same thing with Nicola. Okay. So I'm talking about this. I mean, if you were in a church and you were doing this music, you'd be exuberant. Okay. And I think you need more of that in your body language. Okay? Can we try that very same thing and we'll move on then, okay? Well, one more time. You're coming in on the wrong beat there. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little, it's hard to do this on Zoom. I have to say, it's very hard. Let's start at 64 with everybody, okay? And what we're gonna do is as much tipping as we can, and it might seem like it's way too much, but I bet it won't be. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's go. More tipping. Come on, Saskia. More tipping, Saskia. More tipping, Saskia. More tipping, everybody. Okay, great. Okay, Saskia, that was great. Okay, that was I would say that was 75% or maybe 74% of what you could do in terms of this. Now, since I can't see the exact angle of your body from where I'm watching, I don't want you to be doing something that's going to interfere with your playing, like lifting, scrunching your shoulders or anything. It's this. Your shoulders stay in the same place. It's this. For all of you, it's this. Okay? But the whole group looked so much more animated, and you were projecting. It was great. I just want to leave you with one thing, though, and that is at bar 96. Can everybody be much more dramatic right there? So can we start a few bars before that? Where's a good spot? You want to say 89? Up. Yeah. Just dee da 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 da. Can everybody lift their scroll up a couple of inches higher than you just did when you get to that spot, and lift it with your tummy, not your arm, your tummy. So you're actually lifting everything up. We have time to do this one more time from the same place. Okay? Up. Yeah, and do you think that last note could have a certain sense of regret that the song's over? D rather than D. Yeah. D. Can we just try the loud place at 96 one more time? Everybody, use your feet. Lift yourself up right there. D da da da, right there. Up. D. Could be a little slower, I think, Martin. D. Yeah. Okay. Great work, you guys. Really great. Okay. So if you have one thing to remember, it's D, da, D, da. Can everybody do that? We have 30 seconds. There we are. Use your feet. Yep. Okay. And now add a little of this. Forward. That's it. Okay. There we are.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations to the group from SUNY New Paltz. Big round of applause. And I would love to now open this up to a Q&A. All of you can ask questions to Sunny, who I'm going to spotlight here. Where am I here? There she is. So feel free to put your hand up, and I'll call on you to ask your question, or you can put the question in the chat for Sunny and David. Do we have any questions from the audience? If not, I will start with a question. Okay, until there's audience, I first just want to congratulate you, David and Sunny. Well, especially David, since you're the founder, on your upcoming 50th anniversary.
Oh.
It's a huge accomplishment. I actually grew up in Kronos Quartet. I'm in here as well, and when I realized you were turning 50, I realized I am as well. I was born. Your quartet was born.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the inspiration for this very unique way of celebrating your anniversary. I know that you've been planning this for more than 5 years. Who came up with the idea, and what made you think about doing this?
50 for the future. If it weren't for COVID, it would have been done a couple of years ago. So it's not actually related to the 50th year. It just turned out that way. But I think the original reason for this was so that there'd be music for quartet players all over the world that would be free and available any time of the day or night, and that could be downloaded, and they could play with, anybody can play with their friends. And we realize that so much of our music is very difficult to obtain from publishers, and you need to get rights for this and that, and you need a lot of money sometimes, and it's just hard to get a hold of. You can't get our music in normal music libraries. And so we thought, okay, let's just make our own. It was kind of as simple as that, really. And what wasn't simple was accomplishing it, and having as many partners as we needed to be able to do this. And of course, Sonny and Hank and John and I spent a lot of time learning the music and working with each of the composers, and then recording, of course, and then editing the scores. And so there's a lot that's gone into this, and so it's been a big deal for us. And I could speak for myself, and I'm sure Sonny will have something to say about this as well. But having the opportunity to hear other groups play our music is so wonderful. I mean, I wish I could be in the same room with the groups. For me, coaching music is a very physical activity, and we might end up doing push-ups or jumping jacks or something, in a quartet rehearsal in this case, but we weren't able to do that today. So.
Well, you came as close as I think anyone did on Zoom.
Okay.
Actually, that leads me to another question. I was very interested in how much, for both of you and both of your coaching styles, how much body language and sort of the rhetorical, sort of theatrical aspect of music making was part of your coaching technique. I don't know if both of you could tell me a little bit about how much that informs the way you rehearse as a group and the way you perform.
I'll turn it over to Sonny.
Well, I find that in string quartet, we are all leaders and followers at the same time. We don't have a conductor who tells us exactly how to do a phrasing, slow down or go fast. We are all in charge of how the others play with me and vice versa. So it's very important to communicate not only through words during the rehearsals, but through our body language. And I think what ends up looking theatrical is ends up being that way naturally, not on purpose to be theatrical, but to be in unison, to achieve something special, to be in unison with the sound and the body language. I don't know how else to explain it. I think maybe David, you can explain it better. I love the way when you said that you have to use your eyebrows. It's just absolutely true. You use everything you have in your body to express and communicate what you want others to do. And what I found really interesting is that how you the way you move sometimes affects so much how other players play, that we put a great deal of time, and we talk a lot in our rehearsals on how we can move so that we can achieve a certain kind of sound or a gesture.
It was very noticeable, actually, in that last group, how much you could even hear that immediately in the sound on Zoom through just computer speakers. Just the very beginning of the coaching, David, that you did with SUNY New Paltz Quartet, when you just had them focus on their posture and breathing, the sound was absolutely transformed.
Yeah.
Another question I had actually just about your repertoire before I get to Susan here. One thing that I've always loved about your quartet is the way your repertoire choices are truly international and also multicultural, from all backgrounds, all aesthetics. And I saw today, because all three choices were American composers and two of them were in a kind of American vernacular tradition, I saw the way that, for example, Sunny, you used improvisation to kind of open up the group and get the real feel that you wanted them to get in the piece. And the same with you, David, it wasn't improvisation, but it was movement and feel. How do you do that? So, for example, I noticed that you have pieces that you commissioned from composers from Indonesia, like Pini Chandrarini, or from Africa, from Mali. How do you do that actually when you're working with a vernacular from a completely different culture?
Well, the first thing we do is try to get as much information as we can from each of our composers. And in the case of Penny Condrorini, she made a recording of her piece, and she was singing. And it turns out that the first violin part is largely the vocal line. And so my job was to try to become Penny in the way I played. And so it involved a lot of listening and listening to her. And then Jacob Garchik, the person that arranged Madhuswara, Penny's piece, for us, listened a whole lot as well to the rest of her group and tried to make a version of Madhuswara that would work as a string quartet piece, and also would honor the tradition that Penny comes from. I mean, she is extending the tradition of Javanese music in absolutely beautiful ways. And so for us, it was there was a lot to learn, and we're still learning. And as a matter of fact, in January, we're going to do her piece with her. And so we're going to be trading off vocal lines, and she will be playing a guitar-like instrument that her husband has built. And I can't wait for this. Actually, it's going to be so much fun and kind of take us into an area we've never been before.
Oh, wow. How exciting.
Mm.
We have a question from Susan Alexander. Susan, would you like to turn your camera on and unmute for a moment there? Or you don't have to turn your camera.
I can't turn my camera on because you have stopped me from doing that.
Oh, I have. Well, I did not purposely do that.
No, maybe Joseph did it. No, it's okay.
Start video. Well, anyway.
Here we go. Start my video.
Yes. There you are.
Okay. Am I on there?
Yes.
Can you see me? Okay. Hi. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for this. It's just been absolutely incredible. I just wish like everyone in the world could have watched this. It was great. This may be a little more of a comment than a question, but maybe it will turn into a question. I was noticing how with the last group that it was like people needed to be given permission to kind of channel a vernacular that they're actually familiar with, but it's not really theirs. And when we play in sort of traditional classical music, we're constantly being asked to do a Bohemian folk song or an Austrian lullaby, or these kinds of things that we've learned through tradition. This kind of, it has a certain kind of pulse, and it has a certain kind of lilt to it, and these are not really our traditions either, but we have absorbed them, and we feel comfortable doing that, and we don't feel like we're imposters when we try to make that kind of expression. But people who are now in front of something that sounds like African American church music, or perhaps from these other cultures that we don't know at all, and when there was this whole swirling about of cultural appropriation and all that sort of stuff. It's how do we get people to feel comfortable and give themselves permission to channel all these different ways of expressing. And maybe that's what you're trying to do partly with this collection of music. Because the composers, I guess, by writing it down, have said, go ahead, I'm putting it there and you're allowed to play this.
Well, first of all, I think I have a definite opinion about how music works. And in terms of how we listen and how we learn in music. First of all, musicians I think find music that interests them. And I'll never forget talking to Dumasani Matairi, and you might know of our album Pieces of Africa that was released in 1992. And it opens with Dumasani's music. And he told me the first music he remembered hearing was by Bach. And that was in Zimbabwe. But then as he grew a little older, he heard Zimbabwean music, and that became the music he wanted to play. And I just thought, that's fabulous. I mean, when I was starting out playing string quartets, we would play Haydn, and I realized, well, I've never danced a minuet, or I've never danced what's a scherzo? What does a young violinist from Seattle know about anything from Vienna, Austria in the 18th century? But music is always that way. You can hear anything. I was listening to Fletcher Henderson Orchestra this morning, and realized I don't think I've heard that before in my life. And it was so good and so different than anything I'd heard. And it came from a tradition that is fundamentally American music. And it's like, okay, when we get off this call here, I'm going to be checking out Fletcher Henderson more. And that's the way it works every day. The world of music is a fabulously interesting place. And I think I just invite people to just jump in and really, there are those people that think different forms of music need to have a fence around them, and I'm not one of those people. I don't think music works that way. I think it. We hear something we like and we add it to our collection. That's what I've been doing since I was a kid.
I'd like to second that, and I'd like to encourage, especially young students in school, to not so get caught up in labeling yourself as such, like you have to be only interested in this kind of music, or you have to be a journalist or this and that. Don't worry so much about that, but just explore what interests you, and then later I think it'll just kind of all be of some use. And do not be ashamed if you're interested in something that is maybe frowned down upon by some of your peers. Don't worry about that. Just go with it and explore.
Thanks.
We have another question. Before I get to just a violist named Walton, by the way, I love your name. We have a question from Norm Malenki in the chat. I can either read it, or Norm, if you'd like to come forward and ask your question. Are you there, Norm? There he is, Norm.
Okay. Basically, I know you do a lot with body language. That was very evident in the coaching that you gave, basically. Music is much more than just playing what's on the page and playing it the way you've been taught to play it. So this is a practical question. It has to do with reading the music as you're playing it. Do you keep your stands low when you come together as a group at certain moments? Does the printed music just disappear parenthetically? That's basically my question.
Well, one thing we've done in the last year or so, and that Sunny has spearheaded, is we're using iPads now.
Yes, many people are.
Yeah,
I am too.
And I find that I need to have my iPad a little higher than everybody else because I'm a little taller. And so the stands we used to have them all at the same height and all that. Well, it's not quite that way anymore because of the iPad. But in any music, the more you can get out of the actual notation and just into the sound and into the feel of it, the quicker you can do that, the better, I would say. Don't you think, Sunny?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, notation is there as a reference. It's kind of like a communication from the composer, but it's sometimes it's just there as a reference. It's like you have to use so many other things, your imagination and talking to the composer to really understand the sound that it needs. And then once you understand, then so much you don't have to look at it anymore. It's just there as a reference.
Wonderful. Thank you. So just a violist named Walton, would you like to unmute and turn your camera on? Yes, and ask her question.
Yes, I am just starting in a chamber group myself, and I was wondering what are some of the unique challenges and even possible breakthroughs that happen when you bring a newer member into the group of established musicians. Does it help the musical language of the group by sort of challenging the established dialect?
Well, I mean, any time you're lucky enough to get a new viewpoint on your work, I found it's a good thing, because you have the opportunity to revisit your own ideas and maybe expand them. And I remember when Sunny joined Kronos, and I haven't said this yet, and I was thinking of saying it in the coaching session I did. I kind of referred to it about the cellists using their elbows, and I always knew where the beat was with Sunny, but by where her elbows were. it was, and I had never noticed that before in Kronos, and so all of a sudden it just felt like the time between my part and Sunny's part, I just felt like I knew where the time was in a really great way.
I should mention though that when I joined, of course we had some new pieces coming in for all four of us, but a lot of the pieces I started playing with David, John, and Hank, they've been playing for a long time, some of them over 30 years. And they had certain way of playing it with the previous cellist. And when I joined, they had this incredible openness about the way what I had to contribute and how I felt about certain phrase. And I thought that was incredible, just the way they just accepted me as a musician and my ideas. And I think when four people come together, usually we all have our things that we are very good at individually, and some things that we are not, maybe other players are better at. So when you are very open-minded in that way and you're willing to incorporate it to create something really special, all four of you, it becomes a really magical process. And in the end, a really rewarding experience, I think.
Awesome. Cool.
Did we answer the question that you had? I want to be
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
No, I think you did, Sunny. I don't think I did, actually. So I just want to be sure you felt like you got an answer from the two of us.
I think so. You make it seem like it's just very easy to sort of bring new members into the fold.
Well, the other thing we should say about this is we get practice on this almost every day because we work with a lot of guest artists. And anytime you bring a composer in, wouldn't you say this, Sunny, that there's another viewpoint, and then
absolutely.
And as soon as the composer leaves, and then we say, well, actually, the music ought to go like this.
No, it's not like that.
No, it's not like that. No.
David is being recorded.
Actually,
yeah, awesome.
Speaking of which, so you were just talking about, Sunny, how you felt so welcome. And then when you joined this group that was established for so many years, that there's this amazing sense of democracy in rehearsals. I wanted to ask, and I'm sure some other people might want to know too, how were all four of you involved in the choices of these 50 pieces that you commissioned for your anniversary?
David, please go ahead.
Well, I've been the artistic, for lack of a better word, artistic director for 49 point some years.
Wonderful artistic director.
I mean, I've been given a lot of latitude and freedom to just explore and take chances. And, one of the advantages, there's probably disadvantages to having an artistic director in a string quartet. The advantage is I want every piece to be the best piece it possibly can be, and I can't sleep if it's not happening that way. It's you know what I mean? There's no committee where you can kind of pass off responsibility and stuff. It doesn't work that way for us. And so that sense of I think everybody in Kronos wants the best music. We want to play it the best we can and all that. But in terms of bringing a new experience into the group and kind of creating a vocabulary, that's something I spend my time thinking about and doing all the time. And one thing I've spent a lot of time thinking about is what the string quartet as an art form doesn't have in it and should, in my opinion. And so I would say that 50 for the Future is in some ways is trying to bring elements into this art form, this great art form that we all get to share, that maybe haven't been there before, and viewpoints from people from many parts of the world, not as many as we'd like. I mean, in 50 pieces, you can only do so many things. So, I feel like I need 500 more years, and then at year 499, I'd say, I think I need 500 more, actually. It's just the way it is, and the way music is, really. It's so fascinating, and there's so many people contributing wonderful new elements to the world of music. And one thing you'll find, and I'm saying this for everybody here and all your friends as well, the community of musicians worldwide is unparalleled in just as people, as thoughtful citizens, as empathetic creatures walking this earth. There's no better community I've ever seen anywhere than the community of musicians, and the people that are attracted to music, the listeners, the administrators, the everybody involved in music that I've met is just wonderful.
Well, actually, that's a good way for us to draw this to a close. And before I do, actually, just want to say, I just want to read a comment we had in the chat from Kay Pesh. She said, those of us who coach amateur chamber music groups can't thank you enough for the inspiration and making the 50 for the Future freely available. I love the variety of styles in the 50 for the Future. Go to their web pages and explore.
Oh, good.
Yes. And I also want to say, just on behalf of ACMP, thank you so much for doing this. And for all of you, actually, I'm going to spotlight myself for a moment, too. For all of you listening, ACMP is a community of musicians worldwide, and our mission is chamber music for pleasure. And I feel like you will all get immense pleasure from exploring the repertoire in the 50 for the Future library. I've been listening and looking. As David said, it is a real gift to us as string quartet players to have this, like, all these new voices, styles in our repertoire. And they purposely chose commissioned pieces with the idea of them being kind of teaching pieces. So some of these pieces may not be quite as technically difficult as some of the things that they're on with all the Kronos records that you're going to go home and buy. Anyway, I encourage you, we have one more of these classes on April 15th, Saturday, April 15th, also at 2 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. And I encourage all of you who have not played today to consider it, explore the library and sign up to play. And closer to the date, I will be opening it up for the audience. And I just want to say again, also I encourage you to join ACMP if you're not a member yet. It's free. We have free membership. And we have a directory that you can all use to find each other, to have more friends, to play all of Kronos's 50 for the Future music with. You can just look people up in your area and get together and play all this wonderful music. So I really hope some of you will join us and play, and join us and listen. Save the date, tax day, Saturday, April 15th. Again, I want to say thank you, a huge thank you to the three groups who had the courage to learn a new piece and play today. And thank you so much to David and Sunny, and to Sarah Donahue, our education coordinator, with whom I've been working to coordinate this, and everyone at Kronos. And we're very much looking forward to the next class. And I wish you all the best with your next concert and your upcoming collaboration with Penny. That's going to be fabulous. And everyone also, please follow Kronos and hear about their concerts, and come and hear a lot of these concerts live by the people who are responsible for creating this repertoire. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in April.